This is Abnormal Entertainment.
I have heartburn. Apparently, I can't drink alcohol.
Well.
I'm like a baby man. Yes, I just gotta smoke the drugs.
Well,
What about
there
Yadka?
you go.
I can.
Yadka.
It's really weird. I can shoot heroin and I don't get heartburn. So I guess that's just what it takes.
Do you shoot into your testicles?
What?
Eyeball.
Yeah,
Straight in my
that's
eye.
a thing.
Shooting stuff into your testicles is
It's going to
always
be an
a thing.
excellent beginning. I
You're
can
an
already
excellent
feel it.
beginning.
I am an excellent beginning.
But a
I'm your only
horrible
beginning.
end.
Someone told my son
Only
today
beginning.
to check his testicles once a month.
For cancer.
Yeah,
And for
that's
pleasure.
important.
Cancer pleasure.
Girls don't get that. You can't really do that.
You can check
Well,
your
we're
boobs.
supposed to check
yeah,
our
but like
tatas.
it's not like for pleasure.
Why don't
I'm
you
not
ever
gonna
check
feel
your
myself
labia?
up
I
for
would be. I'd be
pleasure.
like, hold on, these things still. Yep. Does it still go in? Oh, it does. Okay. Okay. Just checking. I'll be out in 30 minutes.
I'll use that next time then.
I'll come in there
Do we
and help
need
you.
to go? Do we need to
I'm
leave?
gonna have like a flat. I'm gonna have one of those, like those miners caps with like a flashlight on it. Like, I got the black lung pop.
I'm sure.
Heck yeah, I'm going all the way in. Balls deep.
Hey, get out of here. You are invited.
Welcome to GloryHoundd and the Uninvited Gamers. I'm your host, GloryHoundd, and today's Uninvited Gamers are
Richard.
I profit. Just Colleen and Dr. GloryHoundd. Hey,
It's amazing. I didn't know I
What's going on out
could
there,
throw my
ladies?
voice like that. Uh-oh.
Oh, sit down.
Leg goes down. I repeat, leg goes
Oh,
down.
who went down? That's what she said. I'm sorry. I'm full of that's what she said tonight. Yeah.
She's got a lot of that going on.
Yeah.
So you can tell we do a
Who-
lot of editing.
Oh, this is. If we're gonna put this out in video, we're not editing this.
No, I'm not. I'm
No,
not
not the-
editing video. It's gonna be
We should save the orig. And
Raw.
Then, right, raw dog it. And then we
Whoa.
should do the classy where you wrap the pickle.
Stay classy,
our
San Diego.
classiest one. Is like people are still like, we can't listen to this in front of children.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I shouldn't
pretty
even
much.
have children. I mean, I practiced long enough, but still. Solo act.
So we're just
You can
coming
do solo play with that.
Oh wow. We're just coming out of
What
Phoenix
you looking
Comicon.
at there, buddy? You're even really out of focus. I'm talking about solo play over here.
Sir.
We just got out of Phoenix Comicon.
All right.
Like, yeah, 5 minutes ago. Don't I look good? Or just kidding. I gotta stop touching
We
my
can't
hair.
do
Sorry.
this because you can't. You're not.
Yeah, I know
Be
because
able
I'm
to
on
stop
camera.
staring
I
at
just
yourself
want to like.
in the
Should I
camera.
take off my shirt? Would that be weird? Should I?
Yes, that
yeah,
would be
yeah.
weird.
Would it be weird? Just in the
No, I
middle?
was gonna say yeah. You could. Go ahead.
I didn't know they could get negative views on YouTube.
You can.
Aww.
Just be my mom's bridge club. They
So-
love me there.
We're gonna talk about the highs
Do you
and
need
lows
a
of Phoenix
tear
Comic-Con.
crying mic?
I don't.
Highs and lows of Comic Con. What was your favorite part of Comic Con, Richard?
My
Probably
favorite
my
part
dog
of
out back.
Comic-Con was the crit hit room playing RPGs with these amazing people in the dark cave in the basement of the Hyatt.
What was your favorite part, Just Colleen? On the spot.
Not going.
She went. She
We
was
went
there.
for
Oh,
a little
I
bit. We
didn't know
just
you guys
we
did
went Saturday night and we played one game for a couple hours
And it was magical, wasn't it?
because you were there.
Yeah, I will say the demoer from Imperial Outpost.
He was good.
Bob. Considering he was like talking to. So there was the three of us, and then there was like, I swear, 3 British guys. Like I don't know how we got 3 of them, but there were like 3. What's going on here? Is she on fire? Burning down the house. So there was like 3 British guys there with us too. I think they're all British. I hope I'm not offending them, but it was quite.
Oh, it's okay.
entertaining.
They don't listen.
That's very true. We are a very niche market. Basically, just me. So we were playing with the 3 British guys and then us, and so he was trying to.
They were big
do this
video
whole,
gamers. Though.
Yeah, and then he was trying to do this whole Fortune and Glory thing where you're reading out these like serial like adventures, like stay tuned, see what happens to our dazzling heroes next. Like,
He did a really good job.
and he did a really good job. Like I was super interested when it was my turn. I just didn't care when it was everybody else's turn, but that's normal. That's how I feel about most things.
Wait, are we talking about the game now? Or are we
No,
saving
we're
it?
not.
Role playing.
Do not
He was
even
role-playing.
discuss it.
Too soon. Too soon. But Bob, the demoer that was demoing for Imperial Outpost, good job. Kudos.
His name was Bob.
His name was
His
Bob.
name was
B-O-B. Bob.
Very nice, very nice. Did everybody go through the highs?
I got high. No. Just kidding.
Well.
She did her high. He did his high.
Our
What was your favorite
Our
part?
high is the same.
Was it seeing me?
You're
Spending
speaking
time
for
together.
iProfit.
Was it me getting all those magic packs?
I saw an overweight Darth Vader, biking people around on one of those.
Oh yeah, no, he's always there, and then he has like the music playing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You'll see him at the
Nice.
ball games. And
I hope
stuff
to be that guy
sometimes.
one day. It probably pays more than what I make. I would say my favorite part was that Cascade Games was there doing all kinds of like Magic Grand Prix type events downstairs, and did pretty well. I pulled 2 mythics, an invocation, and then with my prize packs I got 2 more mythics. So it was doesn't get much better than that. It was magic. No, just magic.
Just magic.
Magic was my favorite thing. Oh, I guess my wife was there too.
What was your favorite part?
My favorite part is always getting the art. So I like walking around Artist Alley and picking up sweet art.
What was
What
was your favorite piece this year?
It was a naked rendition of myself. Drawn by 3 different artists.
By what
in
is
the
it?
dark, it was just a black piece of paper.
Like Flying Frog illustrations or something. It's a girl. She does a bunch of Disney-esque looking things. But I had a picture of Sephiroth. And it was the original art, so it's not a print.
Right,
so
right.
I actually bought like the art that
And
she
it
did.
was quite pricey. I mean,
cool.
Yeah,
it
no, that
this
was really
big.
cool. It was tiny, but it was
It's
so
coaster
cool.
size.
It's very nice. It's very
Sephiroth
nice. It's
is
Sephiroth.
Disney?
I was
Yeah,
No,
now,
he
right?
does that Disney style art.
you're
She
right.
does
She does,
Disney
like,
style art.
Maleficent and all the different Disney princesses and stuff. And then
Yeah.
Sephiroth, who's also a princess.
Well, like she had made a bunch of
Kind
like
of,
little
yeah.
prints of
never played the game.
some of the new Marvel characters and stuff
I
like
played
that.
Final
and then
Fantasy
she had Cloud
X.
and stuff like that. So
And she yelled at me. She's like, "It's not Final Fantasy X. It's Final Fantasy X." I'm like,
You
"Well,
didn't
if you've
know.
never played it before, it's Final
you didn't
Fantasy
know
X."
it was the 10th.
If you've never played the other ones, I just was like, "Yeah, it's Final Fantasy X. That makes sense. Sure."
I thought it was a new
Did
game. I'm like, Final
X
Fantasy
marks the
what?
spot.
Did I miss something? Oh no.
I can't hear myself.
Good. It's better that way. The elbow is close so that you cannot bite it.
What about low
wanna
points of
hit you if you
con?
keep
There's
taking
probably
my
like
arm.
a lot more low points than normal for this year.
No, about average. It's
Well, I mean, for us, I don't think
The
there's
same,
as
the
many low
same.
points as other people that had to stand
I was
in
going
line.
to say, yeah,
for 2
everybody
That's
else
true.
had all kinds of low points, but our low points were like, I wish they had pretzels in the Hyatt. That'd be kind
Yeah.
of cool.
Well, I kind of wish there was better signs for the room I was working. So.
Yeah.
Oh, for the crit hit room, yeah.
Yeah.
Right, because you come down the escalator, or if you walk in the main doors, there's like giant magic cards, like huge poster-sized ones in a big circle with like arrows pointing in, and then it was like, oh yeah, and crit hits like around the other side of the elevators.
Yeah,
Right.
where no one was going.
Yeah. Yeah, it had terrible flow to that room. But
The feng shui was feng no.
it was their first time over in that room. So that makes a difference too, because
Right.
a lot of people don't know that it's
Yeah.
down there.
Well, and a lot of our games got like misscheduled. Too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like they double booked some tables, and like the blocks in the schedule said 2 games at once, even though that's practically impossible.
You need double-decker tables for that.
Yeah, that's
Ooh,
true.
you can have all your
Double-
friends over at
double-
once.
Yeah.
We should just fucking go home because he's just going to talk for us.
Take all of our jokes.
All
Got
your
it.
guys' best material's mine.
It's because he's on camera. He acts different. He can't help
I
himself.
don't act different on camera. I just
You've
look better.
looked at yourself like 20 times now.
Whoa, calm down.
But yeah, I think to me the
Killing it.
other little part was like all the rumor mill. It was
It was crazy rumor mill
this
there.
insane rumor mill this year.
About all sorts of stuff. Just
Oh, yeah.
all sorts of stuff.
Like I heard like the Saber people were assholes. I heard
Yeah.
Comic-Con were being assholes to the Saber people. I heard
Yep.
like
Sabers and assholes don't usually mix very
Well,
Because dicks.
I'm sure,
that's a
I'm
whole
sure,
different
I'm sure that's happened
niche
before
for that.
by the
yeah,
shape of that.
it's a whole
those
different
things.
niche for that.
Different con.
And
Or not.
what there was the
Penetrate-a-con.
rumor mill thing that's happening
Or
about
Dragon Con.
the person that was apprehended off of there. There's of course like the internal like little things going on in the game room and stuff. It did seem extra drama-y, but maybe I'm just like more into everything. So
Well,
now,
I mean,
so.
it was all the all the volunteer stuff kicked
Right.
it off, and then Thursday there was like it was pretty much nothing. Like you could just walk in there
Yeah.
where there's no security at all, and then bam on Friday, like you couldn't get off on the exactly.
When are they going to stop us from doing that? I don't understand.
on the train.
They gotta
dare they?
regulate.
It
They gotta
just caught me
regulate
off
that
train
shit.
on the train platform.
How
Couldn't
dare they
get off
stop
the
you from
train
getting off
platform.
on the train?
That's really frown on
You
that.
can't get off on the train, okay? It's just
You
not
oh,
right.
You can.
The cop-
Do you wear
Probably.
sweatpants
You
for that?
shouldn't, but you just wear a large poncho.
Well, not near Phoenix Comicon. They have a radius for that, so.
No, I mean, well, so basically a guy showed up saying that he was there to mess with cops, to pretend, like, shoot them, and he was there to kill Jason David Frank, the guy who did the White Ranger and the Green
Green.
Ranger. Well, he was green first, then the White Ranger from the Mighty Morphin
Hold
Power
on,
Rangers.
hold on.
Oh,
Let's
please,
get out
get
our
that-
let's
get-
that shit
get that straight.
Yeah.
He was the Green Ranger first, and then he was like, "Oh no, he's dead!" And then all of a sudden he's like, "Oh, we have a new White Ranger
like
helping us." And then
Gandalf
he's
the
like,
Grey,
he's
but
like
as
this. He
Power
like ripped
Rangers.
it off. He's like, "It's me, Jason David Frank." Bitches.
Right.
And everyone's like, "Whoa, Green Ranger's the White Ranger!" It was so good.
I've never seen the show.
You're too old.
I'm too old for that show too.
You were probably in college by then, right? It was just, I don't.
Oh my god.
I'm kidding. She's not that old. I watched it because my little brother's 6 years younger than me, so that was his show that he picked to watch. Because it came on when I was like, I think in junior high or something. So it wasn't something I was
Yeah.
like, I'm going to watch this in the mornings. But my brother did, so I kind of know a lot of it because we always had to take turns of who's watching what.
One of my highlights was actually meeting your brother. I like him better.
No.
It's impossible. That's never been said in the history of ever.
I Prophet's like, what?
Even my mom was like, I like the other one more. It was pretty instantaneous. But he does what he can. He definitely went out of his way to mess with you, which he was so like
Yeah, he
proud of.
was,
And
he
I was like,
was.
you know what? Good job. If you're fucking over Richard, good job.
Thanks. Appreciate that. Just
No,
keep me
it's
on
good.
my toes. It's fine.
No, definitely. So, I mean, there was the rumor between what the guy was there for. I guess apparently he has stalked somebody who was in the anime community before, and it was on Twitter he was talking about, and she saw it. Then she's like in California, and she messaged the police and said, "Hey,
Oh,
this
really?
guy's looking to
Okay.
cause trouble." And then they went and apprehended him with a little bit of a scuffle, but I guess he didn't actually.
Well, I
get
heard it
any of the
wasn't a
guns
scuffle,
out.
and then it was a scuffle. Like, I don't fucking
That
know
part doesn't
anymore.
matter. I mean, if I was a cop and you heard that he's trying to kill other cops, I'm sure you could invent a scuffle a little bit. Like, oops, I punched him in the
Stop
face on
resisting.
accident. Yeah.
Stop resisting.
Stop resisting. He's resisting from the ground. I mean, it happens. I'm not going to say it's right, but I'm not going to say I've never done it before myself. So it happens. Happens.
And on that note,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, on that lovely note.
It happens. Sometimes
You know,
people
we're
resist.
not timing what we're doing here. I
Good.
should probably get a little. Oh no, wait, hold on. I do have a time on here.
So there was that, and then what's up with the whole Ultra Saber thing? So Ultra Saber by Friday night was packed up, and then they came in Saturday morning and started distributing like letters on not company.
Oh, yeah, that Ultra
but-
Saber
So
thing
they
is
like snuck
crazy.
back in to send out letters, and so the letters essentially said, we were in compliance. We were putting our props, because they sell high end lightsabers. We're putting our props in trash bags like they told us to, and they were upset that we were upset that we were like, this is dumb, and so they asked us to leave because the guy who's running it, Matt, has a huge ego. But then, and they did not refund us. But then Comic-Con put out their note saying, hey, we asked them to do these things, to put them in the trash bags, and they had to leave the vendor hall with them. And then Ultra Saber, not only did they not go to compliance, then when we come to talk to them about it, they were like belligerent. And but we refunded them, and they left, and hopefully we can see them again. Something along those
Not
lines. So it's
likely.
two completely conflicting stories. Yeah. But from talking to more people, I found from a friend of a friend, once again, from the people I work with.
Of course, yeah.
And they were saying, supposedly they were just being belligerent. I don't know about the compliance thing, but I guess supposedly they didn't go to the meeting because they had a mandatory meeting after this whole thing went down. Because
that was in the letter.
Comic-Con and the Phoenix Police kind of came together, and the convention hall kind of came together and said, hey, let's ban prop weapons. And so they did not show up, even though they were selling prop weapons, and it was meant for them. It's not meant for the dudes selling dice. It's for anybody selling or making prop weapons there. Since there's a ban on them, obviously there's going to be different rules. And Yeah, so it was crazy, but supposedly they didn't show up to that, and then they were like belligerent about it when they were asked about it, and so finally Comic-Con was like, we don't need your crap, you can just go. And they did refund them. So I don't know.
The story will eventually play out.
Yeah.
Right, it's
really,
crazy that both sides, one said that we were in compliance and we didn't get refunded. The other
I'm
was
sure
like,
that
they
there's
were not in
probably a big
compliance and they did get
miscommunication
refunded.
thing there with somebody that maybe walked off with a check or something like that. But the gaping hole that was left there, that kind of sucked.
I don't think they're going to be
huge.
back.
Well, I don't think so
Because
either.
I don't think Comic-Con necessarily wants them back, at least
Right.
the current director. And I don't know if they'll want to come back because they were already complaining about the lower attendance. But, I mean, there was a potential threat, like a homegrown terrorist type threat. So I can see why the attendance was a little bit weird and they had to make some changes.
Do they have any numbers from Comic-Con with the
I
actual
haven't
attendance
seen
number?
any, and I'm wondering if I haven't seen any because attendance
the-
was lower.
Because last year they were all about posting
Right.
how many people were out there, even though
Yeah.
despite
Every
the
year
heat,
they
we had
do.
a couple 100,000
Yeah.
people.
They're like, so how many were this year? Oh,
And what they should do
what
is
was that? Oh, yeah, it was totally.
all they got to do is get Trump's team in there and be like, it was the largest Comic-Con ever. It was huge.
That's
Comic-Con
right.
goes
Biggest
everywhere.
Comic-Con ever.
There's people in
On
line
the
in San
planet.
Diego coming to my Comic-Con. It was the best Comic-Con.
They may just be waiting until all the heat from the incident kind of blows over
Maybe.
to release numbers that are
I
slightly
will say
down.
from personal
Yeah.
right. I will say from personal experience, because we've gone a couple of years now. Last year it was like trying to get through people.
couldn't
had to
get through
squeeze
on-
through,
on
and you
a
had to-
Saturday.
there's so many times you had to just stop and wait for people to
Yeah.
do whatever they're doing so you could move by. And this year you were able just to pretty much walk through.
Right.
There was room.
Last year, I was nervous about Player 3 being there because, I wanted her hoisted, up off the ground.
Right, I had to carry her a lot of the time.
Because,
she's so small, she's almost getting
right.
trampled because no one
And
could see her.
this year, totally fine. She could do whatever the
Yeah,
hell
she's
she
just
wanted.
running
Run around. Yeah.
She was just drinking, playing craps. She was just doing
just let her
whatever.
do
Shooting drugs
whatever.
like her old man.
Yeah.
just
Mhm.
shoot
She's a
them in
good
her
gamer.
eyeball.
Yeah.
That Artist Alley is a great place to pick up heroin. So
It's so good. So good.
Well, I mean, if there's alley in the name, drugs are
yeah,
involved.
and artists love heroin.
Well, I said you should go in
Drug
there.
artists.
I was
That's what
talking
I
to Daryl, who's a better version of you, by the way. I like him way
thank
more.
you. You should really just
Oh,
get
yeah,
him
we
on
always
this
talk about
podcast.
that.
I've
Yeah.
tried.
Well,
He's much harder to fish. I've been catfishing him for months.
yeah.
Anyways, we were talking about how you could just go to Comic-Con with a giant overcoat full of tacos and sell them on the side, or Jimmy John sandwiches, and you're like, hey man, hey kids, you want to buy some
You
sandwiches?
want any sandwiches in my coat?
Right, and you can make some serious
Take a
money.
look in
So
here.
next year I'm gonna go in there with prop weapons in my jacket and be like, hey, you want to buy a foam ninja star?
You would get kicked out when you got
Probably, yeah, I would
searched.
definitely get kicked out.
When they
the hell is
paid-
wrong with you?
Well, that's going to be kind of the interesting thing is whether or not they continue the
They
prop
continue
ban.
to do that.
Because if they continue that prop ban, it's
Well,
going
if
to
you
really
put
screw a
fidget
lot of
spinners
people.
on
Yeah.
every prop like a sword, you could be like, it's just a really big fidget spinner.
Yeah, I just can't see them continuing that ban on prop weapons. I mean, people's
the
costumes.
They
you
should
know,
probably come up with a different set of rules,
They
just more
sh-
intricate checking of the prop weapons.
I hate blanket rules and stuff that.
Yeah.
And super fast overreactions
Right,
of
you know,
because
just
people
like-
got turned around with Harry Potter ones and
Yeah.
foam wings.
Right, they're
Come
just
on.
like, no, that's it's like, sure, I could see there
They should have
being
said
some gray
no
areas.
metal blasters, no metal gun-like things. So if you've got a sword or a lightsaber or wands or wings, it's fine, but don't bring in any guns. And that I think most people would have been okay with that. But people still complain.
you should still be able to have that stuff, but you should have to go through certain channels, stuff like that. Because what if you had the 501st Stormtroopers want to come to the Comic-Con? What,
Well,
you're not going to let
that was
them?
an issue.
Right,
My
yeah,
buddy
that was an issue.
he's an all black stormtrooper, but he's got the gold stripe and he's got a sniper rifle blaster. So without the blaster, he just looks like a stormtrooper that happens to have a racing stripe on his helmet. It doesn't really make sense, but he's like a shadow striker or something. He's like a sniper essentially for them, and so he didn't even dress up. He was just like, it's not even worth it without that.
And you're not. I mean, originally you were not allowed to carry any metal or wooden props at all. That was a thing that you couldn't do before. you had to go and get your weapon checked at a special table.
Yeah, and then didn't they do like
Peace
tape
bond.
it? Yeah,
Yeah.
peace
Well,
bonding
they
it.
put a
That's
zip
it.
tie. It was
Right.
Yeah.
like a neon zip tie was
Yeah.
put on.
Right.
it.
The
But
police would
those
check it.
peace bonded stations are just kind of like wherever, and like
They're like
people just
by a
float
door,
past
but
them.
yeah, it's.
But if they
don't
just
block a door,
yeah,
you
if
can
they
just walk
just
by.
structured that where people had to check in there, like everybody had to check in there to double check everything, that would have solved the
They
problem.
could have averted
It
a
would
lot
have
of things
taken-
by just reallocating some of their resources, which were definitely few, and just have more entrances. 3 entrances was just not enough when they usually have a whole bunch.
Because if someone was going down one of the wrong entrances, you could be like, you need to go to entrance 2 to have that check, please, kind of thing.
Right, yeah, you could even do something like that. Because they did do that somewhat. We stood in a line, and by the time we got down to the end of it, they're like, oh, you already have your badges? Well, go get in that line for entry. People who don't have badges go that way. So they were already doing some line filtering.
Overall, though, I am not upset with the fact that they took precautions to keep everybody safe.
right.
Sure.
You know,
It's just they probably overdid it because they relaxed it as the days went on, too.
yeah.
Because like by Saturday, they were allowing props again, but like you weren't allowed to bring prop weapons, but people were still coming in with wings and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
When wands were
whenever
allowed.
there's confusion like that, people don't know what's going on. It's like, her brother called her on like Saturday, I think, or something.
Yeah.
It was
He
like,
was
are you
like-
okay? I heard
Yeah.
what's going on. It's like, yeah, that happened on like Thursday.
Yeah.
I got
Like, I'm
I
already
got-
dead, thanks.
I got
talking to my
I had
ghost.
coworkers come to check and make sure that iProfit was okay and he wasn't there, and my mom texted
Yeah.
me,
Your mom didn't text me. What's up with that? I just Facebook friended her and she didn't even text me.
I'm surprised.
I am just declining that event. Okay. She's off.
You're waiting for more foot pics?
No.
Oh. Well, we did get to play some new games while we were at Phoenix Comicon.
Did we? Which games did we play?
Well, I think everybody kind of played
Everyone
a
can
little
see you
something
looking at your
different.
notes. That's the problem with
I'll look
video.
at my notes all I want, sir.
Awkward.
Fortune and Glory. We already kind of talked a little bit about that, but did you guys like it? It's a long game. Whenever I heard you guys were going to go play Fortune and Glory, I was like, oh my god, it's so late. Why?
And I think he specifically tried to adjust things for that. I've
tried to
played
go
it
through a little
before.
faster.
It's kind of a lot like Pandemic in my mind.
Really?
But
there's
I mean,
co-op and
it's
then there's
similar.
solo play.
If you played other Flying Frog games, that you kind of get the gist. But yeah, it's kind of there's multiple ways to do certain things, and you have to watch out for certain things, stuff like that. But we were doing the competitive version, which I've never played before, which definitely was a little slow at times. That's why, I spent most of the time I was like a Russian scientist, so
Right.
I just looked up Russian proverbs for
6 people was a lot
20 minutes
too.
between turns,
6
kind of thing.
new
Right.
players also makes a difference.
Right.
And there's a lot of, okay, you have to complete this obstacle. There's mobsters. Do you want to sneak in and roll like agility, or do you want to fight your way in and use strength? And so you kind of have to. And it's rolling dice. It's very much
I
a
like
flying
that.
frog
That
game.
was kind of a little bit like choose your own adventure.
Yeah.
A little bit. I did like that.
And right, you weren't just
You
just
went
weren't
with your
screwed.
strong-
Yeah, you
yeah.
weren't just like, oh, you don't have any strength. Well, I guess you're dead.
I mean, not all of them had the multiple choice,
But most did.
But most of them did.
And it was kind of interesting because you'd get cliffhangers. It was very much in the style of like
Yeah, if
an
you
old
failed.
TV show or something where it's like,
Pulp.
come back next week.
Like a
yeah.
pulp comic
Wait
kind of
next
thing.
week. Or even the radio shows they used to do were like, listen back next week to see if the Silver Shroud makes it.
Sure, yeah.
Because you're that old that you remember that.
I do. I played Fallout 4. I know who the Silver Shroud is, okay?
You mean Fallout column? No.
No, it's just the 4. Fallout X.
It would be
no,
for
it would
I and then
for
the B.
B.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Ivy.
It's like you're in the hospital
Yeah.
and you need, fluids.
Ivy.
Get the Fallout
Drugs.
4 directly into the veins. So you guys liked it, but it was long.
Yeah, I mean,
But it's a flying frog
Yeah.
game. They tend to be.
I was gonna say they're all pretty long.
It's
Right.
a
It's very-
Ameritrash. It's very thematic.
Yes, that's
Sorry.
right.
Ameritrash. Okay. Super
Right.
dice rolling.
But I like Flying Frog. It did have a little bit of dice rolling, which if you're okay with that, you kind of have to know. But it's really about the story, and I think in a quiet setting with less people would have been even better.
Right.
With 6
Yeah, 'cause it was
players in
loud
an
in
open
there.
room, it was a little hard to hear what other people were doing, so I kind of just didn't care as much. But I'm also an asshole. I only care about myself mostly, so there's that
Well,
too.
And
Well,
it's one of those games that I don't think you would want to play the competitive version unless you've played the original and
Right,
you were
because
looking
I
for
was more
something
interested in
different.
the co-op. Right,
Right.
that seemed more
I
interesting.
think the co-op probably would be funner for a group unless you were just like, wanting to do something different. Or
If we actually have listeners, I want to know what the difference is between that and Shadows over Brimstone, because I've played pretty much the other Flying Frog games, but Shadows over Brimstone is a different one.
It's a much more tactical game.
Is it? Are you one of our listeners?
I do listen. I do.
Come on,
listen to
newbie.
He
the show.
listens to it multiple times,
I
I'm sure.
I'm probably the
big
most
secret
listener.
all the world
Yeah.
knows.
But that's
Probably
the
listens to
because
all
I
the
have their
things.
Touch of Evil and a bunch of the expansions and the Invasion from Outer Space and a bunch of those Last Night on Earth. But I've never gotten a chance to play the two newer ones because once you kind of have a bunch of money invested in Last Night on Earth, I can barely get anyone together to play that because the rules seem so daunting. Once we get it
Right.
going, it's fine. But
You do,
it's
like,
one of those
quick
things
play on
like
that.
I feel like
let's sit down for 4 hours.
Shadows of Brimstone is much closer to Last Night on Earth
Okay,
than it is.
so it's more about the
to
tactical
Fortune Lord.
moving.
Yeah.
Okay, well, cool.
Oh.
I'm sure that's probably really enjoyable still.
Buck Studios was also down there, and I believe Richard played Make Me a God. We've played it before, though.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember Make Me a God? What are you guys doing? We're talking to you specifically.
Your dog is using my legs to rub his back. So
Well,
Okay, well, at least
that
it's his back.
happens.
it was distracting.
Hey,
to say the
at
least.
least it's his back, and it's my dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's it's twofer.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Do you remember
No.
the Make Me a God game? That was
Did
the one
we-
that had the different little temples, and you would
Yeah,
move
and you're rolling your dice and stuff, and
like,
you're
you would
moving your
have-
characters around to try to collect things.
You'd have to
from
roll
them.
a dice to try to do melee at the temple, or
Yeah.
try to do like lightning, and then collect the different tokens from all the different temples.
You had to have one from each temple in order
Oh,
to
you
win.
played
yes,
it.
Yeah.
yes, we've played it. And
I was gonna say,
remember.
didn't I Prophet win? Did I Prophet win
Probably
that time?
not.
No, I doubt that. It's probably
Wow.
I am very visual, so I have to
Wow.
see it. I don't recall it. We played too many games with you guys.
Oh well, we should
Well,
just stop then.
Because you got a demo directly from Buck Studios,
I'll be
Right,
back.
Duck from the designer.
right?
And I thought it was we played 2 players, so it's probably a different feel because it was kind of like a point counterpoint kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed a lot of like thinking about like I need to put a new guy here on this temple to get this power before he can get there. And that he was trying, but we were really just having a lot of fun doing our kill counts. So I don't think you probably did. It's probably not in the rules, but every time you killed a character, that we put that character underneath the character that killed him.
Oh, that's cool.
So we had like every time somebody it got killed, he was like king of the mountain. He just like you spread the cards out.
Oh,
Like,
that's cool.
I've got some pictures. I'll send you. But like, actually, I'll probably just show some pictures to these guys. But I enjoyed it until the very end.
Okay.
Like I didn't.
What happened at the end?
Well, so the problem with this game is you have to roll a specific number to activate a temple to get the power, and that was.
Don't you have to have so many powers?
You have to have all 6 power. You have to have all 6 powers to win and become a god.
Is it all 6? I thought it was
Yeah,
just a majority.
you have to have
or
all
something.
6. So,
Are you sure?
yeah. At least that's what I was being told by the
What
designer.
was
So
it?
Yeah, you have to have all 6 powers. A big thing with playing it with 4 people was the fact that some of those places would fill up and then you couldn't get in there, And that made a big difference too, because sometimes whenever I would go to move, there was just nowhere that I could go that would be beneficial for me,
yeah.
And there are those things like, some gods had, or some characters had protection from certain things, and
yeah.
You
and
you
that
guys,
kind of thing.
you are full of it because I've never played this game.
Yes, you
Oh my God,
have.
no! You know what? Just Colleen hasn't played it. It was player 3. It was player 3.
I know people get
I
us
know
mixed up all the
she
time.
played that too. But
No, it was
No.
player 3.
I've never
Prophet,
seen this one.
GloryHoundd and me.
So overall, I enjoyed it,
Yeah.
except for the end when I'm like trying to roll a number on a 6-sided die.
Yeah, no, that's
and,
such
like,
a pain in the ass.
no one else can
You're like,
touch
come
me.
on, just give me the number already. Like,
I mean, he had like 5
Go, like,
turns to
4
kill me,
rounds.
and he had to roll one single number to kill me.
yeah.
Because that's the weakness. But he had to guy.
Becomes like a game of cooties where you're like, okay, I gotta roll a 6 to get my cootie head. Woo!
Yeah.
Now I can put my cootie together and I win.
Well, I
Right.
think that overall, it's definitely a game that you would play just talking or drinking with people
Oh,
and
yeah,
stuff,
yeah.
and you're just rolling dice. It becomes like a bunko sort of game where you're just rolling dice to flip and roll dice and moving people around. Like, that's all
I'm
you're
pretty
doing.
sure she hates dice rolling game.
Yeah.
I hate dice rolling games. I do.
Oh, you've never mentioned that before. Is that a new thing?
But I think you could I think there's definitely potential. Like you could add something like an expansion pack. Like if he
He could definitely add an expansion pack and make it a little bit more strategic. I mean, just as it was having 4 players made it more strategic, then I would say 2. You know,
Right.
because
It's-
then you're really trying to position yourself.
It's
Yeah,
probably like one of those filler type games, or like
Right, it's definitely a filler
We do
game.
gamers. Was it?
happy hour.
Yeah, gamers.
it's
happy
like
hour
a
at the bar.
longer filler game, though. I mean, because it
Yeah.
takes a little while to play to get all of the pieces.
Yeah,
But I guess it's
that's
more of a
fine.
casual game. You don't
Yeah.
feel like super invested in it. I don't think I remember being
No,
mad.
I
I'm
was
like,
never
I
mad.
gotta roll a 1 or I'm
Yeah.
gonna kill everyone in this room.
Yeah,
Well, we
you
hope
don't
you
get
don't feel
super
like that.
invested. in
Machikoro, I
everything.
do.
I've felt that way
fair
before
enough.
playing like
About
Sorry
Machikoro.
or
Oh, sorry.
yeah,
Or
like
Monopoly.
is that the one with the Pop-O-Matic
Yeah.
bubble?
That's Trouble.
No, wait, that's
Trouble,
yeah,
Trouble,
Trouble.
yeah.
Trouble, yes.
Yeah, that one's the worst because you have to
And
like
then it's
roll
like
that
knock
die
shit
just
around
and
and
you
stuff.
can't get
Yeah.
your
you
dang
roll that
pieces
die just to
out.
get them out right. And then
Yeah.
I played that with my daughter because she never played. We had the RTD2 like Star Wars one. And be like,
Yeah, we have that one too.
So we're trying to play, and she's like, "Dad, I just want my piece out." And I'm like, "I know, but you have to wait 40 minutes." Neither one of us,
I know.
neither one of us had our guy out.
No, what sucks is when you finally get it out and then somebody like comes
Lands
and
on
Comes
it.
and does it
lands
on
on
you,
you.
and you're
well,
like,
You
motherfucker.
mother.
I swear.
You just get back
We
in
played
there.
15, 20 minutes where neither one of us were out. We were just like, okay, pop. Okay, your turn, pop. Okay, my turn, pop. Your turn, pop. So finally I just went, pop, 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 pop,
I'm
pop.
so
I'm like, that was
glad
yours.
I'm so glad
That was
those
yours. You get
days
out.
are gone.
Speaking of like a way more strategic dice game, this King's Champion, right?
Oh yeah, King's
you get
Champion
to
is
play
a
that
very
one too, or-
strategic dice game.
I had the designer explain it to me because I didn't have 90 minutes to play.
How did
it.
that go? After him
It took about
explaining
like
it to
a
you.
90
half an
minutes
hour
isn't
to
bad.
explain it. I
Yeah,
think.
yeah. Okay, so the game
Well, I didn't have it, so
when you go into it, it's a 2-player game. Except it's like
What?
there's so many working parts with the
Then
game.
90 minutes is a little long for a 2-player game.
Right. And that's exactly it. It's a strategic 2-player game, and
I'd play 7 Wonders
there's
Duel.
so
over that,
much to
probably.
it that him explaining it there. And I usually do really well with like people explaining instructions to me and stuff, but like I swear halfway through that I was like, "Fuck, I don't know what I'm
Was it
doing
like long
anymore."
enough that like I would have like left,
doing-
gone to the
yeah,
vendor hall,
you
bought
would've-
a fidget spinner,
Yeah,
came back,
you
and
would
been
have
like,
left and been
"Whee!"
like, "Fuck this, I'm out." Peace.
Come back and he's still giving
Peace,
the rules.
I'm
I'm like, wee.
By the time I started playing it, after one round though, like you can get the game after one round. It's just a matter of going through the process of okay, where
Was
does
it
this
as
go?
bad
Where
as
does
our
this go?
Puerto
Where does this
Rico?
go?
We had a
It
Puerto
was
Rico
almost as bad as the
demo.
Puerto Rico.
He
thing.
spent the first 45 minutes of a 2-hour demo just explaining how the game worked. And then it was like, okay, so
Yeah,
by the
that
time we
was
started,
sad.
we
That
didn't
was
have
sad.
enough time to like finish the game because
It
he
was-
spent 45
but
minutes explaining the game.
when
It
he was
too much.
explaining it, it wasn't like he was explaining too much. It was just a very detailed game
For Kings,
for King's Champion.
yeah,
Yeah,
the Puerto
because
Rico guy was telling you different ways you could win without
Right.
explaining all the full rules.
right. With King's Champion,
great.
you have all these tiles out, and then you have like your jousters out, and then you have people that you can get rep with. And so there's
rep.
like separate things. So like the first part of it is like a worker placement game where you're placing down your meeples to get certain things, and then you're collecting cards to set on your jousters. And then you go ahead and take your jousters, and once you get them equipped with stuff, and then you joust each other not randomly, but you get to choose the
that'd be
order,
awkward.
and then
You're
they
like,
get to
"Joust."
choose the order, and then you flip them over and see who's jousting who.
Yeah, it's a worker.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
worker.
Who's
place-
jousting who?
And
Whose
then
balls are
and then you
these?
fight each other, and you can lose reputation. And then at that point, after you go through the 3 fighting things, then you have to resolve things that are on the cards and resolve things on your cards, and it's very expansive. Very expansive. I enjoyed it a lot. However, I would
is a
say
dice rolling
not
game, though.
for the average gamer. You could technically, fix that dice rolling part by trying to play really strategic.
Right.
Because there was the worker placement thing. Even though you're doing the jousting, you can try to hopefully pair against lower jousters and stuff like that to try to outsmart your opponent there. You could go the rep point of just trying to get a whole bunch of rep, and then like leveling up your hand and your jousting and everything from there. But I would definitely not say for the average gamer. I don't know. I don't know if you would like it, just Colleen, because it's like extremely expansive.
You're
Yeah.
average.
No. I'm just saying
Yikes! Right?
that there was just a lot of, where does this go? Okay, how do I get this again? And you have to do about 4 or 5 rounds before you know where everything is coming from, you know? Like, you can get the gist of the game in 1 round, but about 4 or 5 rounds before you're like, oh, okay, this is how I need to, like, figure this game out. Which, for me, comes along a little bit faster, so who knows for somebody else? I don't know.
Well,
you know?
I feel like it's, if you've played a lot of Euro games, like, there's, like, pieces from a bunch of different Euro games. Like, the worker placement is
That's how it kind of felt.
Worker placement was over here.
Right.
And then you had an engine building game over here. And then you had, like, another, like, game over here.
So he's like, "Here's my favorite games, all in one."
Yeah, it kind of felt like, because I didn't play it, but it kind of felt like there were a bunch of different games that were, and it was woven together relatively well, but you had to, like, think about how you sacrificed workers to make your knights better rather than place them out doing work. And like,
that's how I want my knights to be, where they're out there sacrificing peons and stuff to get stronger.
Well, yeah,
Your blood makes me stronger.
We're talking about feudalism, so that's exactly how this works.
Yeah.
So
Overall, though, I mean, I thought it was an excellent game. I really liked it a lot.
oh, it's good.
Because there was a lot
And
of
you
stuff
didn't
to
buy
it.
it?
We've already Kickstarted that.
Oh yeah, it just the
We already
Kickstarter
Kickstarted
finished.
that, yeah.
I feel like we even might have wanted to talk about the Kickstarter, but it might have been over during
I think
the
so.
dark times.
I think so, yeah.
When is it supposed to arrive?
I'm sure it'll be a little while. I'll have to look it up. I think they're finishing the stuff. I mean, and it was nice. The art on it was, like, super pretty. I really liked
You're
the
like,
art.
"Here's this game, and I like it." I don't know if most people like it, though. Who are you going to play it with?
Well, I'm saying, like, if you enjoy hardcore Euro games or, like, in-depth games where you're going to play maybe, 2 hours or something, then definitely you're going to like this game. If you don't want to go ahead and drudge through all of that and you just, like, want a mechanic that you can know and learn very quickly and then play the game, then, it's probably not the game for you.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So did you like it? No, I'm just kidding.
I did say I liked it. We need to go on intermission, though.
Intermission in your face.
We're back from intermission.
Yeah.
So fancy.
I feel like there should have been more excitement there. Like, back from intermission. Yeah! But it was more like,
Oh my god. Oh, the dogs.
player
Our
3.
child is sleeping. Not anymore.
She's fine.
Not anymore.
Usually once they pass out, they're good. Nothing much wakes them up.
She went to the
Nothing
splash
much.
pad today, so she's fine. She's fine.
Out cold. What are we talking about?
Kickstarters.
Oh my god.
like
Rise of the Necromancers.
Don't we have some super backers here?
I'm a super backer.
I don't know what you're talking about. It's a secret society. We
Technically,
don't
I'm a
talk
super
about that
backer
anymore.
too, right? 'Cause
No,
I'm married.
no, you have to have your own account. I have super backer
Wow.
status, so
That cuts deep. We're not super backers either.
Yeah, I am a super backer. Half of that is my money. For sure.
you're like
Well,
a
if you-
quarter of a super backer because, like, I spend a lot of time looking at all the stuff.
That doesn't make you more a super backer. I'm the one who usually
I'm-
pulls the trigger and says, yeah, we should get that game. You've just been, lately, you've been like, yeah, I'll get that game. And that game.
Listen,
And that game.
listen.
And that game. And that game. And these games.
Listen, I know how to back that. All right.
I'm going to change the password.
You can back that up.
See how quickly you're a super backer then. Change that password and the
So,
bank account.
Rise of the Necromancers. on Kickstarter. What everybody think?
I thought I thought the video was well done.
Video was well done.
Good, artwork
Vibrations.
and stuff.
Good vibes.
Bad vibes.
Considering that I don't
Necromancer.
think I've heard of that company before. So if
Sore
they've
Loser, right?
Yes, Sore Loser Games.
Yeah, it was Sore Loser Games.
So, considering that, seemed like they did a good job.
You've raised
but-
the dead a few times. How do you feel about this game?
I'd bone that.
Nice. Nice.
That's solid.
I could sing my,
Well,
my
I
dead
Like
agree.
song.
literally. So,
Well, I-
sorry.
I could
Well, I
sing my
agree the
Necromancer
video.
song.
While I agree the video was well done, I don't feel like there was a lot of hooks for me to get into the idea of buying this.
The hook was the theme, and that's really it. Like,
Yeah, I was
other
going to
than
say
it
the
being-
theme was strong with this one. The theme
Well-
was strong.
All the descriptions sound great, but
Yeah.
it's hard to really. You'd almost need to see some mini gameplay because they talk about how
Absolutely.
like a demo,
that,
or
like there's multiple ways to build your strategy, and that there is some luck involved. But the best player should win. But they don't actually say what that is. It's kind of vague, so it could be awesome, or it could just be them talking.
Right.
So
right? Because if it goes to like Killer Bunny's level, I'm just never going to play it again. Because that's the
Right.
game where you're like, I do all this stuff and I collect 15 magic carrots. Now roll one die, and if it's an 8 and you have the 8, you win. And we played this game. She had like 12 carrots, I had like 2, and she rolled like an 8, and I was like, oh, I have the 8, I win. Even though she clearly was doing better by having like all these stupid carrots in her hands. It was the worst.
I'm glad that you noted that I was doing better.
Yeah, you were really good at the carrot game. Good job, you. Got
So-
those carrots going.
It's supposed to be like an area control game, and I feel, I don't know, like I want to like it so bad, but
'Cause of
again,
the
I
theme.
don't think that there's enough information because one, I like area control. The theme is fantastic, has nice looking miniatures and stuff in it.
Right, like I haven't written it off, but I'm
Right,
kind
yeah,
of like,
but I want to see more from it.
Right, it's not one that I wanted just to instantly kickstart.
But
Super back.
it wouldn't be a bad one to try.
Right, maybe we just need to find a demo of it or something, or some actual gameplay, and see if it can get a little bit more hooked. You just need a little bit more.
Or just convince somebody else to kickstart it.
There you
Are
go.
we? Who are we looking at? We're looking at Newbie.
We're all looking at Richard.
No.
No,
He's shaking
Richard's
his
like,
head
no,
no.
no.
Just you
You
have
want to
other
be a
friends,
super
right?
backer, don't you?
Nope. Not even in the least. I did kickstart the Champions Midgard, and it's supposed to be here in July. So
It's
that's
not
exciting.
fast enough. Not
Well, it
fast
was supposed to be
enough. Should have
sooner,
been in
but
June.
It was, but they had
They had to
card
yeah.
cutting
So it could be August.
fiasco.
Who knows?
They were
be
square
August.
edges, and they were supposed to be
Rounded.
And they
Yeah.
were like, they were going to send it out. They're
That's
like,
some
yeah. And
serious
then
shit.
apparently everybody was in an uproar about
Right.
it, and so they're
Well,
like,
yeah, because then the
"Okay,
cards would
sorry."
look different, and you would know which
Yeah.
ones were coming.
Yeah. So, but
I guess I could see that.
Yeah.
yeah, but
How do you even play without the expansions? I don't even know how.
well, we'll soon know. Maybe I can't wait. Wood tokens.
What else does Sore Loser Games
Neat.
make? I don't know what Sore Loser
Oh, we
Games
can
makes.
see what else they've.
I have to bring that up
Created.
every podcast.
I know.
Because I mean,
Because I didn't want to buy 2 copies of the game. I'm such a bad friend.
the figurines didn't look bad.
Which one?
I'd pick up some Necromancers.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's,
Oh, this is their first Kickstarter.
Is it?
so
Okay.
I don't. I have to look and see if
Considering it's their first one, I think that part is good. Just tell them to give us a little bit more, like
Little
how
bit
to
more.
play it.
Yeah.
We like a little
Some
bit
of that.
a little bit more. This was good, but you want a little
Not
bit
so
more.
much there.
Got it.
Yeah, and it looks
No.
like they don't have at least on Kickstarter, they don't have a website listed. So
All right. Well, then I'm going to have to say pass on that. I mean, it looked really good. I really,
Is it
really
backed?
wanted it to be good.
If
I
it's
think
not, it's
so.
close.
I think so. It has to be.
it's 2,000 away. Right,
Is
at
it?
the moment?
Yeah,
Oh,
so
almost.
it's
It has, like-
close.
And they have
I remember
13 days away.
We looked
Yeah.
at several.
But when
so-
we're recording this, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it'll be pretty close.
So.
The other one that we were looking at was Drinkagon. Drinkagon. There we go.
You mean-
like an
Drinkagon.
octagon.
You
but with
mean
drinking.
Chinese checkers, the drinking game?
That's exactly what I called it online.
That's what I was going to call it, too. Man, that
I-
just,
Chinese
I
checkers,
was not-
Yes.
lightweight drinker.
Yes, that's exactly it. It's like Chinese
but
checkers
that's just
plus
the
drinking.
base of it.
And
Aren't there?
plus
Isn't it like Truth or Dare?
It's
Yeah.
Truth or Dare plus Chinese checkers plus drinking.
And there's
game.
an app for the cards.
Yeah.
I was like, Really? You need an app for the cards? You couldn't.
It's
make
for
one deck of
a
cards?
drinking game. Look, you got to understand who's this game's for. It's
Right.
not for the deep role player
It's
or
not.
strategy gamer.
No,
It's-
but it did say a
a part-
strategic drinking
with dice
game.
rolling.
right. So it's more than just straight up, drinking. But so there's a little extra layer to it. But it can't be too complex. It's a fucking drinking
Right.
game.
What I
Right.
don't understand is sometimes I wonder why there's so many drinking games. Have people forgotten like how to just like lift up their cup and sip? Like everyone's like, I gotta have a way to get drunk with my friends.
I actually liked that in their video. They're like, have you ever had all your friends come over and you pour the drinks and it's like everybody's all pumped and then you turn around and everybody's on their phones or doing some, kind of not
That doesn't
talking.
happen
like a
at our parties.
So that sounds like a super lame
That doesn't
host.
happen
like,
at our parties.
I'm busting out stuff. We're like, we're getting on the Connect. Everyone's drunk. Let's do this. We're throwing javelins.
As soon as people enter the door, we're like, yeah, we're playing games. We're playing
Like I
games.
bust
Everybody
up the
get
ping
out.
pong table. I usually run back
Drip
and
them
forth.
down and then let's get
So what I've done in the past, seriously, she usually makes the food, and so I'm out like playing ping pong, and people are like, "Oh, I don't want to play." I'm like, "Oh, here, hey, can you hold this real quick for me?"
Wait,
And then
how
I
are
go
you
inside,
playing ping pong?
And I do ping pong.
Oh, sorry.
Calm down.
Mm,
And so
something
then
else.
and so then like I'll be like, "Hey, can you hold this power real quick? I gotta go check on something." Then I'll go inside and start doing something else, and all of a sudden now they're playing ping pong, and they didn't even want to. Yeah, best friends.
Force them into things. Yeah.
That's what you do.
Well, I
we usually have
sometimes
activities, though,
Some
but-
some games are too intense for a larger group playing.
Pandemic
So
Legacy.
that could
The
be
drinking
something.
game.
You're just a fun casual thing to do.
Every
I
time
think,
you have an outbreak, you drink a bottle.
yeah, that might be
Game is better when you're drinking.
Which one?
pandemic.
Pandemic.
It's better when you're drinking.
It would. It would be a
losing
bit more
would be-
challenging.
yeah,
It
the
would be a bit
losing
more
is,
challenging. Yeah.
Much easier.
Well, I mean, I thought it was it was fine. I don't know if I'd really pay for it, but
$5 print and play.
yeah, I mean, I wouldn't do that even.
Oh,
because-
really? Dang.
Well, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to go.
I'm not spending $1
No, if
on
I'm
that
going to do it,
game.
I'm going to just get it because
See-
I don't want to cut it out and all that stuff.
And I can see what you're saying. I think for me, generally, if we're doing like a drinking style game, we usually do something more like the Resistance or Secret Hitler or more like those bluffing type of games because people are getting drunk and playing.
I'd rather play Daikagon, whatever it's
You can
called.
play Machi Koro with yourself.
Daikagon? I think that's a different game.
It's a radish. Like a gone radish.
Dice.
The
What was
radish
it
game.
called? The Drinkagon. I'd rather play Drinkagon.
I'm thinking Decagon's like a whole different thing.
I was thinking
That's not in
it's
Holland.
Like a dice.
Oh
It's
my
kind of
god.
like a 4-man push-up, but
Wow.
with different members, right? Different shape.
Got it.
Classic spider log.
All right, so the other one that we had was the happiest apocalypse on Earth.
What a crappy video.
Well, yeah, because it wasn't really a
'cause
video. It was
didn't
like
say
a.
anything.
Well, aren't you like big on like teasers being like teasers, not showing you
That's a
everything?
super tease.
For my movies, yes. Don't you sass me? I don't want to see the end of the movie. But if I'm going to...
You don't. Those romance ones, they always show the end of the movie.
I don't watch those either. I don't watch any movie trailers.
I stay away from movie trailers myself if I can. Like Thor. If I'm going to already go see the movie, like no matter what, I try not to watch it. Like Star Wars and all
I
that stuff.
I understand.
I don't do the whole party thing and watch it, but I end up watching them because we went to go see something and there was like, they played all of them. Like we went to go see like Logan and we saw like 7 movie trailers of stuff that I'm going to watch. And I was like, oh, I was purposely not watching those. I've done that
She had
before.
headphones on and she plugged her ears.
Wow. I've done that before. Like close my eyes and everything. So, I mean, essentially it's an RPG, right? And it's Apocalypse World.
Yeah, basically it's a apocalypse world where they're making you're at a mouse-themed park.
Right, but not Chuck E. Cheese and not Disneyland.
Yeah, and
Not
then
Five Nights at Freddy's.
and then
Whoa, calm down.
basically Call of Cthulhu
But pretty close.
apocalypse happens.
Right, so you're on the merry-go-round and like tentacles are there and,
And
elder deep themes. and
The mouse themed park is run by a cult that's
so just
devoted
like
to-
Disneyland.
So it's like if it was Disneyland, but instead of it being Mickey Mouse, it really was Cthulhu.
yeah, something like that.
You
Yeah,
know, they
it
were
seems
just
interesting. It's once again it's a re-theme, right? So it's Apocalypse World just re-themed. And so
Right.
if you don't
Right.
have a lot of it, or if you're looking for something different because your play group's like, I'm bored.
Well,
I can see it
Look,
being-
I think what it's good for is that there's some people that certain things are their strong suit. So some people are not good at coming up with a good theme or
Right,
a good
I'm not.
background and stuff like that.
I do
so,
only if I'm
you know,
running a game, it's always by module because
right.
I don't want to come
for
up with
some
it.
people like that. If you have a GM that's always coming up with their own material and stuff like that, that's great. But if you don't, then that's what it's for. Is those
Right.
Part of the Apocalypse World engine is the players helping to make the world during character creation. So you're always going to have that as part of it. I think to me this hits basically three groups of people. People that are super into Apocalypse World and they just want another, like a different Apocalypse World skin. They're into the idea that Disney is, hail Satan. Or whatever, like adult fans of Disney or people that hate Disney or whatever, or Cthulhu fans. So it
Yeah, I
kind
was
of
gonna
like
say, I thought it was
that-
just like a darker Disney thing. I don't necessarily know if it's for people that hate those things.
Well,
but-
maybe not hate them, but they're just like into that dark
Yeah,
ideal.
but
It's a
Right.
twist. It's M. Night
It is.
Shyamalan.
I mean,
I thought it was really interesting.
A twist.
I mean, I was talking to
Does anybody know how to say his last name?
M. Night
Shyamalan.
Shyamalan. Yeah, I think it's Shyamalan.
Shyamalan.
Yeah.
Shamlin.
It's just everybody's fun.
Shem. We call him Shem for
Bernardine,
short.
It's like Bernardine Cumberpatch.
Cucumberbits.
Cucumber bits. The guy with the thing.
Cucumberbits.
Sherlock.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was talking to somebody that was super into that kind of aesthetic, and they were
Whoa,
The
name
horror
dropping.
themed.
Yeah, the
Name
horror-
dropping.
Well, I could
Somebody.
have said Jim Miller, but I was gonna not, he was super excited about it, and I was like,
Did you tell him he was wrong? That's an
no,
important part of being
I didn't
friends.
I didn't tell him he was wrong because I didn't really have time to look at it when he was talking about it, and apparently he heard it on one of the podcasts he was listening to already. So,
There are no
really?
other
Okay.
podcasts besides ours.
well, that's really sad.
There can only be one.
That
You're
was-
gonna
like the
start taking them
Highlander.
out.
man.
I would cut it.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting that you get to build like your little park area and stuff like that. And because you're, if you're into that horror themed structure things, I mean, it just sounds like a really fun thing to do.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
probably fine.
Yeah.
Like, we don't have any Apocalypse World, so I mean, if we were
Right.
running RPGs, I could see picking that up.
Right?
And it was
But it's not a must-have
It's
because
like-
we just
15
don't play as many RPGs as
and
we
it was
used to.
$15 for the base.
Yeah, it was
book
super
in
inexpensive.
softback and
Super inexpensive.
35 for the hardback or 25. I can't remember.
I think it was 25. It was
Those are
one
very
of
reasonable.
it wasn't very expensive at all. So
Right, it's not bad. It's like you never want to get like an RPG book that's like $40.
you get the PDF for like what, $5 or $10?
Yeah,
or
something like that,
Yeah,
yeah.
something like that. It was super.
And it's always useful to use if you are making your own thing. You can kind of incorporate that in there for relatively inexpensive. If
Yeah.
you grab like the PDF or
I mean-
something.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I mean, it's if you have to spend $5 or $10 on a PDF, I mean, and you keep that forever. So is there anything else anybody would like to talk about before we go?
No, nothing else happened.
No.
I mean, there's all kinds of things, but I think
All you guys better have looked awesome on camera.
Oh, I'm sure.
counting
I'm
on
sure
all
I'm
of
very
you.
shiny. So
Everybody, thumbs up. All right. Honorable mentions. Check us out at Epic Gaming Night or on the Dice Tower for Favorite Game Friday. And make sure to check out our new show, Mystery Dungeon 1000. I guess it's not really new anymore. We should do
whenever we do those again.
Yeah, we should do another recording here soon. We're getting back into it. And Crit Hit has moved to pay and play. So if you're interested in just coming down and checking out one RPG, or if you're new to RPGs, it would be worth it just to go. And do you know how much token is going to be for that?
For one game, it's either you can pay 1 cent if you'd like for one game,
1 cent, okay.
and those tickets are only on sale. The token tickets are only going to be on sale on site. So it's
right.
at the
So is it like a donation thing? Like you donate as much as you want? to
yeah.
play a
Basically,
game?
it's $7 will get up to $7 is one game, and then if you pay $7.01 to $14, that would be 2 games.
Okay, so they donate
yeah.
anything between 0 and 7.
But
for
what's
a game.
cool about this, other than that, is the fact that half of that money is going to go to charity. So we're gonna have it's a I think
Charity.
it's a women's shelter. I believe we're if we do the same one we did last time at one of our other events.
Well, that's pretty cool.
And then the other half is going to go to kind of help.
So maybe
future
if you've
events.
got to
So-
work like on Saturday or something, you can come in after work, or you can do it before work. And
Right.
then
Right.
You're not going to be able to.
Well,
spend the
because
whole
usually,
weekend.
I mean, it's like about 4 hours for a game. So
Yeah.
if you're new to role playing and you want to go just try one, you can go and spend a cent and just try a game. Like, that's all you have to do. You know,
Yeah.
if you like it, then go ahead and spend more money and come and play for the weekend or whatever.
And we have a board game room this year as well.
Yeah.
It's going to have, I think someone's going to be running Cthulhu Wars, so you could come pay 1 cent for play a $300 game.
Well, there you go.
So I think
That's
how
worth
much
it.
Yeah.
That's worth it.
So
Worth
All right.
it.
And make sure to check us out on Stitcher and iTunes. Rate and review us. Tell us lots of good things. We'll read them on the
All right,
podcast.
All
right,
good things.
You're done here.
Oh my God! Fine.
This has been a GloryHoundd production in association with Abnormal Entertainment. For more shows, game news, and amazing adventures, follow us at gloryhound.com, at GloryHoundd on Twitter, or In Glory We Trust on Facebook.
Head to abnormalentertainment.com for all of our podcasts and blogs. Go to cinemaheadcheese.com for our movie reviews and news. Don't forget our YouTube channels, Abnormal Podcast and Cinema Head Cheese. Get us on Twitter, @AbnormalPodcast, and find all of our shows and Abnormal Entertainment on Facebook.
You've been listening to the Abnormal Entertainment Network.